there's a rumor about Man of Steel that would probably change everything you think about Superman and his mythos, maybe even for the worse. And I'm going to preface this whole clip by saying there are potential spoilers. Spoilers, spoilers, spoiler alert. If I see one comment complaining about spoilers, I am going to freak out. So just watch the rest of this on mute, but keep watching. So the spoiler that it's a rumor, a pretty well substantiated rumor by Entertainment Weekly, or published in Entertainment Weekly, is that in Man of Steel out this summer, Krypton still exists.
Has not been destroyed.
Has not been destroyed.
Did not blow up.
Fully functioning planet. Jor-El is alive. Superman's mom is alive.
Why did they put him in a ship and send little Kal-El off into the stars?
Well, that's what's under speculation. Like on one part, it's like, well, there was a civil war in Krypton, or there's something special about him and he's considered dangerous, or that every baby on Krypton had been genetically engineered or bioengineered to become a scientist or a soldier, but he was the only one who wasn't, which makes him an abomination. This actually comes from Entertainment Weekly in its recent summer preview that says, that's what pits him against General Zod, a Kryptonian tyrant who wants Clark to join him back on Krypton, which would mean abandoning his post as defender of the weaklings on Earth. That would change the whole story. I mean, people were complaining, Superman's boring. I don't like Superman. Why would I even watch it? He can do anything. I don't care. But
that was a good impression of everyone.
Well, because I feel like that's missing a big part of what his character is and who he is as a person and what his family connections are. But I think if Krypton's still there, it removes a lot of that, what makes him unique, you know, because he's a fish out of water here, and he desperately wants to connect and wants to learn and wants to help, and he's just so different and overpowered, and you know, it changes his whole story and what makes him appealing, I think.
I personally don't believe this rumor.
Yeah.
Any of it.
Well, it is still, need I say, a rumor. We don't know if it's true, but it's being reported that this is a very strong possibility.
Well, let's think about it as if it were a possibility.
Okay.
So Superman is a special baby, and he gets sent off into space for whatever reason. He was born an abomination. Is that what we're going to go with?
There were several reasons, but sure. He's, for some reason, not wanted on Krypton.
Do you think there's like children's books about that on Krypton? Like, so you were born an abomination. And, like, you read them to it at night to try to help him cope? No? Okay, so we'll assume Krypton is still doing its thing, and I guess General Zod didn't need to be in, not the negative zone? Was it the negative zone?
I don't know.
Somebody help me out. No DC? God, what was that? One of them was the one from the Fantastic Four, and I think that's the negative zone. I don't know, it was like a flat pane.
Oh, that piece of cellophane that's spinning into space?
Spin off into space? What was that called, Internet?
No!
I'm losing all my cred. Anyway, so now Zod goes to Earth to get Superman back. But I'm assuming we're sticking with the...
He wants him to help him rule Krypton, or help Krypton. Who knows?
So,
but for some reason, return to Krypton.
So now the yellow sun isn't the source of Superman's powers? Negative zone. I was right. I was right. Vindication. Negative zone.
Yay.
Zod and company in the negative zone. Score. I feel so good about that. I'm pumped. Anyway, so now, like, because when Zod comes to Earth, he has the yellow sun powers as well. But when they go back to Krypton, they don't have powers.
No, everybody's the same.
Everybody's the same. Why would you want to...
I don't know. Maybe the thing that's special about him is that it doesn't apply to him, or maybe
that's the thing about Zod. Once he gets to Earth, he wants to rule it because he's got superpowers.
They're clearly taking several liberties with what we know from the Superman mythos.
Yeah, and that's why I don't believe this, because none of these things add anything.
Assume that Superman is still special on Krypton, and that's why he wants him back on Krypton.
So then he's bringing back the only person who could stop him. That's stupid.
Well, maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe he could say he's an ally, but then turn on him, and oh, that'd be really messed up. I kind of like this more and more, actually. But it changes everything, and I think people who are fans of Superman would hate this, because it's just like, you ruined the only thing that's good about him. Why is Jor-El still alive? Where does this put, like, the Kent family? I mean, would he then abandon Krypton to stay on Earth and defend people here? I mean, I get.
See,
this is very convoluted.
After the poor reception of the last Superman movie,
yeah.
like, you're not going to get a Superman movie greenlit unless it's great.
Mm-hmm.
So
you think they would take like a crazy risk like this?
No, I don't. I think they gotta play it safe, and any risk they take
they played
has
it
to
safe
be
last
brilliant.
time.
They didn't really play it safe, though.
Yeah,
it was
they did.
So corny and so hokey.
Okay, the sun thing was pretty stupid.
Yeah, it was all pretty stupid.
Yeah.
It was all pretty stupid, Kim.
So okay.
It was a pretty stupid movie.
It wasn't a great movie. I liked Kevin Spacey in it, but that is about it.
On his big Crystal Palace?
Yeah! I enjoyed that. Maybe not in the right level, though.
You know what I'm more excited for
than
this Superman movie? Is the documentary about Superman Lives. Did you read about that?
The one with Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that movie that Tim Burton directed, Nick Cage starring Superman movie from the late 90s, I want to say. Written in 1997. Originally, Kevin Smith wrote the script, but then it fell out of control.
And then like it became a terrible script with like robot spiders, and they're like, I still want those robot spiders, so they put them in Wild Wild West.
Oh, it looks awful.
And that sucked.
Everything about this script, how the last version of it looks awful. So they're making I forget who it is that's making it, but he just had a successful Kickstarter to make a documentary about the making of that movie and what happened to it.
I would watch that.
Yeah,
I just need to see more pictures of Nick Cage in the suit and be like, no, because that's like a strong reaction.
Special robot rainbow glowing armor for Superman.
I hate it.
You know, super canon stuff.
No, like long hair.
And Brainiac and his big skull spaceship.
Oh no. Okay, so if you had a choice between watching this abomination of a Nick Cage Superman documentary or watching this crazy, possibly true rumor in Man of Steel, which one would you go for? Or are they both just terrible? Which is kind of what I'm leaning towards, but terrible in a good way, that I do want to watch it. Let me know what you think in the comments.